The years take their toll. He laughed quietly and casually moved the blade away from his throat, as if nothing were wrong. He stood up. Don't tell me he's a bitch, y'all. Hell no. I already have so little people that I like in the story. Don't make me dislike him. Confused and afraid, Abraham glanced at the giant cross on the wall. Then Libya came out from behind the novice, pointing a small revolver at him. What? Here comes the accomplice. Fuck no. Hell no. I'm about to kill every single one. Everyone. Maybe excluding CAIN. Maybe. But I'm gonna kill every single one else. Snatching the knife from Abraham's trembling hands, Boris confidently slashed his throat. Blood splashed onto the cross. He sputtered and coughed as he fell to the floor. He wanted the prophecy to fulfill itself, no matter what it would be. I don't know, bringing doom to earth and heaven. Romanov bent over him, gazing at the novice with real sorrow. Not fake or feigned. What? If Lubia hadn't met your strange guest, I would have never known about the betrayal. I'm sorry it happened this way. Dmitri tried to take a step forward, but Boris nodded to Libya and she pointed the revolver at Nick's head. The Immortals watched the unfolding drama with little interest. They say I don't give a fuck, to be quite honest. I would love to have the Immortals' confidence. They're like, someone else is being threatened, what's new? They were ready to act on the general's orders, but were unbothered otherwise. Again, I'm so intrigued to know what the general has on their ass, that they're actually willing to comply to a human. Greg and Anna gasped at Boris. They didn't know what to expect next, and the unexpected was frightening. Suddenly, a hysterical scream rose from behind us. No! She was the other one in the sexual ritual. Lydia ran out of the passage and rushed through the ranks of monks, making her way to the bleeding Abraham. Joseph hurried after her. How did they escape from Kira and Lester? They weren't strong enough. Those two aren't doing their jobs well. To be quite honest, at this point, they're not capable to do their job well. Like, they were actually, if I remember correctly, they were in chains. How did they manage to unchain themselves, take Kira and Lester out to that extent that they were capable to run here without us hearing footsteps that someone is coming behind them? That means that they are not even close by. They aren't doing their jobs well. I'm sorry, at this point I'm just throwing shade at every single one of them. Without reacting to the novice at all, Boris stared down the squad. Dmitri was also in no hurry to make the first move. Libya looked at Boris in confusion, then at the approaching servants. She closed her eyes and shot to kill. Joseph fell down at Abraham's side. Lydia collapsed on her knees next to him. Her shrill screams filled the hall. The walls shook and then everything went quiet. Y'all, you want my opinion? I'm completely shocked. I really have no idea what to say about this entire situation. What is going on? Why, all of a sudden, is this happening? How did I not see this? And second, how would that benefit Boris? How? What is this ritual even supposed to do? I don't think I ever had an answer to that. Like, if you all know, maybe it's just me for actually immediately playing after the update is out. And I'm not waiting like 500 years until like the first book or the second book is completed and then I play, so my memory is not that fresh. Like, if you all know, please let me know in the comments, what are they trying to do with completing all those murders? There was a reason why people were killed. Suddenly, streams of dust and debris rained down from the ceiling. Small stones fell and hit the frozen monks, creating cracks all along their frigid figures. God damn it. Mass murder. Literally. The walls shook again. I mean, yeah, the last victim happened. More debris fell and blocked the passage behind us. We found ourselves stuck in a huge ritual hall with a couple of crazy occultists. Why, y'all? What happened? How did I not see this Oh my god, y'all. Are we seeing the blood on the floor? This actually reminds me of a scene from Shadowhunters, Season 3, where Lilith actually made innocent people spill their blood in order to raise her son. God damn it. The frozen clerics began to rise, emerging from their icy cocoons. Their bodies were covered in black veins. Their eyes could no longer see, and their minds wandered, lost in the abyss. Don't go near the monks. They're infected. I thought as much. But I love CAIN. I'm sorry. CAIN is like the only reason I'm still here, y'all. He's kind of like Malbonte, you know? He's the Malbonte in Heaven's Secret Requiem to me. He is an obsession of mine. Holy shit. You think? Larger stones began falling. Pieces the size of cobblestones destroyed more and more of the frozen facades. I'm sorry, hold up. If the monks are infected, as in those on the ground that are spilling their blood, what good does it do? I mean, why would he need the blood of the infected? They're waking up. We need to get out of here now if we want to survive. Yeah, because they're all infected. Everyone getting close. On my say, we'll start breaking through the neck. Oh my god, y'all. And then what? The passage is blocked, and we're surrounded by an infected horde. But how did they even get them all here? And how were all the monks infected? We saw a couple of monks. They even performed rituals. I remember the woman in the last episode that was completely slashed open. And there were, 10 or 11 infected flying after CAIN when he started to distract them. What is happening? In general, I don't understand how people even get infected. Do you need to be scratched? Like Teen Wolf? Do you need to be bitten? Like zombies? How does that virus spread? CAIN, can you manage? The angel, now looking almost as sick as Pylon, nodded uncertainly. You being out here saying that the demons are the weak ones disinfects every single supernatural, if you ask me. Yes, I'm sorry, but he's fine as fuck. I am in love with this man's red eyes. Blame me. I don't care. He's fine as fuck. Fine as fuck. It's been a while since I showed how much I simp for CAIN, I feel. Here, my simpin'. It's too late. The ritual is almost complete. And what do you need in order to completely complete it? Boris took the knife and ran the blade along his wrist. Crouching on one knee, he lowered his hand over the same channel as the frozen clergy's. What? The scarlet drops disappeared into the dark, vicious liquid. What? I'm sorry. He's not a supernatural. Wouldn't he be dying if he's slashing his wrists? So that's where the blood of the abominations went. Now we also require the last symbol. Fuck no. Simona, let me tell you something, then maybe you'll change your mind. There is no way in fuck. No matter what happens, in my eyes, you want me to trust you, to have faith in you and your beliefs, then you gotta be honest with me. I hate liars, and especially if you're like trying to go behind my back, like trying to make it believe that you're a good guy and then you have completely different intentions. I actually trusted this man and look where it got me, y'all. I fucking can't. Like, this story is actually testing my patience. This man wants us to believe what he's saying? He wants us to listen to him? You want me to listen to your insanity? I'm sorry. In my eyes, this is insanity. You do be know... Because, you know what you're doing, right? Boris, you have a horde of infected here. You have them slash their wrists, in order for you to get their blood, and now you slit your own wrist in order to have your blood drip into theirs. What exactly are you trying to do with that? What good will it do? How exactly does it profit you? And now this man actually looking at us. I'm still shocked because of or ways of thinking as in the character where she was like, he tried to get close to us so that we would want to save him. As in so that we would hesitate when it comes to actually killing him. Simona, don't move. Now I want to move. Sonny boy. I hate when people, especially your sorry ass, is telling me what to do. I will never like him. I will never. And I'm not even sorry. Because in my eyes, you need to show that you're worthy of being redeemed. And if you stoop so low to actually traumatize, mentally torture another human being, you are done. I'm done with you. The author, I said it so many times and I will have to keep on pointing it out. He or she is desperate. They're trying so desperately to have us forgive him. No, you fucked them up. Now you deal with the consequences. I paused in indecision as another stream of rocks fell from the ceiling, falling on a figure not far from me. A crack widened rapidly, breaking out of the ice. The infected monk reached out to me, but the general blocked its impending grasp. Why the fuck does this man want us in his team so much? Oh my god. Everything happened very quickly then. Several pairs of snewy hands appeared in front of me, separating me from the rest of the squad. What? I heard Dimitri's voice breaking through the wall of agitated monks. Simona, protect Nick. Right, I need to protect him and no one is protecting me. I fucking hate him. I really do. I shrank in fear when the infected grabbed my arm. Don't be afraid. I'm sorry, what? Is he capable to control the infected? With a jerk, Boris pulled me into the circle where the monsters wouldn't go. Huh? Nick was still lying unconscious behind him, and the shaking Lubia continued to aim her gun at his head. Boris gripped my forearm roughly, refusing to let me turn around, but I heard shots being fired beyond the circle. That meant the squad was fighting and would soon reach me. Simona, you have the book, right? Trust me, I know what to do. Again, you want me to trust you after you went behind my back? I just have to try not to die. There is no way in hell that I'm giving you the book. Like Sonny boy, you should have been honest with me from day one. Boris' grip tightened. You see? He does not care. He does not truly care about us, y'all. I'm actually hurt. I'm really, really hurt. I actually thought he truly cared about us, y'all. Black veins appeared on his hands, spreading up his arms to his face before consuming the entire left half of his body. What are you doing? What is this man trying to achieve? Is he stupid? Does he want the privileges of the infected? Yet not completely become one? He fell to his knees, bent over in pain, surprised. I temporarily forgot who exactly Boris was. You getting infected. He was fighting it. I saw how his veins pulsated but the infection didn't spread further. It's hard to contain it. If he passes out right now, we're both dead. I need to keep him conscious. Boris, tell me, why did you start this? Boris whispered through clenched teeth, trying to pacify the unbearable pain. Because the ritual gives you something you can't get anywhere else. What, immortality? I despised my grandfather and his stupid search for the unknown. But I grew up and my soul felt empty. I had everything, but I didn't want any of it. Everything faded, lost all its meaning. I searched for something that would stir up in my life. And becoming an infected will do that for you, Sonny? Getting yourself a husband or a wife was not in your plans? He shook his head. How stupid it all turned out. Stupidity killed the cat, son. The biggest stupidity is you. He actually gives off the vibes, y'all. Now that I think about it, in general, this scene reminds me of the herd of zombies in The Walking Dead in season 2, where Herschel actually kept those zombies, aka his relatives that were infected, in a barn, thinking that they were sick and he could heal them. Hell no. First off. Second off, this man actually gives me the vibes of season 2 of Shadow and Bones. Like the Dark Lord. I forgot his name. We grow up to be what we were always afraid to become, right? No. This is your own decision. But to a specific degree, this is trauma that we're tackling here. So, to a specific degree, I can't completely say he's off, because depending on how deep your trauma is, you could turn into your worst nightmare. As in, what used to terrify you, you turn into that because you never really found a way to actually deal with the negativity back in the day. And now you feel resentment towards the people, or more like you feel hatred, aka resentment, towards the people that used to be like you. You know? People would pick on you because you are too pure-hearted and you weren't capable to actually stand your ground. And now you are the one tormenting those that literally behave the way you used to back in the day. As in, you're projecting the negativity that a bully back in the day gave you, and you are giving it to the people that remind you of who you used to be back in the day. I can't. Why don't you stop? Boris shrugged again. He gripped his aching side. Do you think I didn't try? Run away, leave the city. But why do you need to become an infected bitch? That's what I need to know. I succeeded. The sacrifices stopped. Then the damn rift appeared. I tried to calm my conscience, to tell myself it wasn't my fault. Those were my grandfather's stupid fairy tales. Demons can't be angered. But I returned, nevertheless. The word changed, the line between life and death blurred, but Rotkov was frozen in time, and I hated its constancy. It caged me, drove me crazy. In order for others to live in happiness, someone must suffer. Well, the locals know this. And you thought that you need to suffer? And their indifference makes me feel even worse. Sometimes I wish someone would stop me, but they're also resigned. They allow the sacrifices to happen. Yeah, I did say something about this, didn't I? So this is the end? I wanted to feel something, and I succeeded. You wanted to feel pain? He smiled sadly with one corner of his lips. Y'all, I'm shocked. I really don't know what to say. My mind is completely blank right now. I did not expect this man to be traumatized to that extent that he would prefer to become his worst enemy and become his biggest fear than actually healing and not allow the past of his grandfather to haunt him. Do you think I'm a monster? You killed people. He drooped. The realization of what he had done now seemed to dawn on him. Right, there is no turning back. But if I finally finish this ritual, carry it out the way my grandfather wanted, then all this will end. Y'all, he's actually crying. Oh God. He's traumatized to that extent, y'all. He must have suffered so much in his past. Only real pain and lack of love from the people that you needed love and attention from can turn you into this, where he actually is willing to lose himself just in order to carry out what was important to his grandfather. Wow. You get me. I knew it instantly. You're the same as me. What? You're pretending. You don't feel anything either. You're faking it. Just because I'm numb doesn't mean that I'm happy to see people die, sonny boy. I think we need to have a chat, you and I. Despair flashed in Boris' eyes. This man actually... Oh no, I have the feeling I know why he's saying it. Oh god. Like, when you say this, it's when you yourself subconsciously realize that you sound insane. So, in order to calm your conscience, because you still have one, that's like the thing that actually hurts me the most about this entire scene. Your humanity is still there. So your conscience is actually taking a huge ass blow, and you're trying to kind of project what you are feeling onto the other person in front of you, as in you're trying to a specific degree manipulate the person in front of you, and you can only do that when the person in front of you is mentally unstable or vulnerable psychologically, and you try to kind of manipulate them to that extent where they actually are willing to say, you are right, I'm just as bad as you are. You're trying to cling on to someone's vulnerability in order to drag them kind of down the worst stages with you. This is fucked up, and I feel actually bad for him. Because that means that he knows that he sounds insane. He knows that he fucked up. He knows that he turned into his worst enemy. He knows that he never ever wanted this, and actually realizing that he turned into something that he never wanted to be. Yet his trauma turned him into this is actually slowly destroying him. I feel bad. It pushed us to do the craziest things. It manipulated us. Despair could not be trusted. You're wrong. Path of the Devil's Whisper. I'd have had the strength to finish what I started. I need to stop the ritual now. I slid the sole of my shoe across the stone floor with a sickening sound. I erased one of the demonic marks and opened the circle. You will regret this. Oh, I will regret literally nothing. At the same moment, one of the infected grabbed Lydia's shoulder. She screamed and fell to the floor. She did. Several of the infected rushed at me. There was nowhere to go. An angry Boris stood at my back. I closed my eyes, and when I opened them, Boris stood in front of me. He'd already protected me once. Now he was stepping in again. Huh? With a darkened hand, he threw aside one of the attackers. Give me the book, Simona. No. You miscalculated. I don't have it. You're lying. You wouldn't trust anyone with it. Don't be so sure about that. Sonny boy, you do know that they are bitches. I'm living with bitches. Bitches don't leave me a chance. You and Boris managed to become close. What? The infected monks grabbed his back and began to tear at his coat. We fell to the floor and Boris covered my body with his, not letting the monsters get to me. He is protecting us. Y'all, this man. Oh my god, he is... I'm so sorry. He's fine as fuck too. I hate this. For fuck's sake. Are we seeing this? Are we seeing the synchronicity? Are we seeing the handsomeness? Are we seeing how good they look together? Am I jumping? No, I'm not. He's a bitch. CAIN. It's CAIN. Y'all, Boris is tempting me. I fucking hate it. Oh my god. What is going on? Oh, this picture is gonna be my wallpaper. He talked about only wanting the book, but he protected me still. What was Boris really after? This is what happens when you sink into despair, y'all. You are not truly evil. Again, this man noticed that he sounds crazy. And you know when you try to negotiate. What does that sound like? 5 stages of grief. You're in pain. You're in pain. And that shows humanity. And that means that you are worthy of being saved. Because if this man turned into the worst version of himself, yet he's still willing to protect us with his life, That means that he deserves a second chance. He's not willing to have us die. He's just not really saying with words that he cares about us. But his actions prove it. If you don't care about me and you only want my book, you wouldn't protect me. And yes, you could also think he's protecting us because we still didn't give him the book. But it does not look like this. If anything, if I'm only interested in the book and not interested in your well-being, I would even kind of threaten you with having you become infected, you know? I would kind of play with your fear. I would kind of push you against the infected, and then at last minute I would pull you back, you know, for you to see what will await you if you don't give me what I want, you know? But he's not doing that. So take it and give me the creatures. So take it and give me to those creatures. Do what you have to do. Boris looked at the infected, who could quickly tear me apart. He could easily push me to them. See? What did I say? What did I say? But he didn't do anything. He hesitated, as if wanting for an excuse for his weakness. I'd rather do it myself. Ravaged by doubt, he reached for my throat, but he couldn't hurt me. He slammed his hand against the stone floor, very close to my face. A crack appeared in the slab, and I looked at him with fear in my eyes. His darkened veins protruded obviously across his face. I shouldn't have hoped for you to take my side. I let myself into a trap, and now it's over. I can't hold it back anymore. I was sincere with you. I want you to know that. Were you? He grabbed the knife that was lying nearby and put it in my hand. Shots rang out as the infected fell around us and stones went flying. Do it while I'm still human, then run to the squad. Hold up. Hold your horses. There's no way in hell I'm gonna kill him. He showed humanity. He showed humanity. And for someone that actually values life, I told you so many times, I would never, ever kill someone. Ever. I always believe that there is another way. And in my eyes, I can't just kill people that I dislike. Would I want to kill Dimitri and everything? Yes, because they did fucked up shit. But in my eyes, what I see right now is not evil. It's desperation, frustration, for not having been capable to escape the darkness of your past. A lot of us aren't that strong. And trying to fight for your mental survival, not allowing your past to completely swallow you whole and turn you into the worst version of yourself. A lot of people commit suicide. This man was trying to heal, and this is where he ended up. He wasn't strong enough. Air quotes, okay? Because right now, he's actually giving us the knife in order to kill him. You wouldn't give a damn if you hurt someone, because he knows that if he can't control himself, he will still kill us, and he don't wanna. So he's like, please do it. Like, this is the only chance for us. I won't do it. Forget it. No, don't ask me to do that. Boris nodded understandingly. He turned his head to the side as if he were looking for someone when he noticed Libya's body lying nearby. She did. I ruined you too. Not this man crying. In an emotional fit, Boris grabbed the knife from me and stabbed himself in the heart. No! Y'all. But did we hear what he said? He looked at Libya and said, I ruined you too. Is this man evil? Is he evil? No, he ain't. He ain't. And he deserves a second chance. Not this man actually killing himself. I'm about to throw myself off the window. He trembled. Red drops fell on my chest. Boris stiffened and then limply fell on top of me. Getting out from under his body, I turned his head toward me. Boris' eyes went dark. He left this world as a human. Fuck no. Just then the general broke through to me. Leaving me, he ran to Nick. Anna and Greg entered the circle behind him. I looked back, and Nia's white wings were cutting down the undestroyed statues, preventing them from awakening. Next to her, Pylon fought the already awakened monsters. Pylon must have come to his senses after I broke the circle. Only CAIN was nowhere to be seen in the crowd of infected. Where is my man? Getting up, I hurried to Nick. A cold hand suddenly grabbed my leg. Bleeding and barely alive, Abraham whispered something. Lydia and Joseph lay on his chest. Almost without moving his lips, he said, You promised that you'd take them away from this nightmare. A tear glinted on his cheekbone. His gaze faded, his final words drowning beneath the cries of the infected. I'm sorry, not to sound rude and to ruin this moment, but how the hell is he still alive? It's been a huge ass while since his throat was slashed. How is he still alive? How has he not bled to death already? I wanted to give them a chance to save them. After everything you did, none of you stood a chance at salvation. Woohoo! Greg picked Nick up, especially after you actually had the novice be hit because he was discovered doing something unholy and you actually orchestrated it. You allowed it to happen. You were there. How do we get out? Will the immortals be able to clear a path back through the rubble?
CAIN can do it.
And where the hell is he?
Alone. Last time it took him a lot of time and effort. This time is different, and we won't beat on breaking through the passage. We're going through the ceiling.
What do you expect? Do you expect him to actually just hit his head against the wall? Sonny boy.
What are you talking about? Everything is about to collapse.
If he's actually trying to break through the ceiling, you all die. We were surrounded, and even the immortals were beginning to run out of steam.
Get ready.
Dimitri shot his gun upward several times. CAIN descended behind us.
It's time.
CAIN's eyes glowed red. They no longer changed color. They burned only with a bright scarlet fire that incinerated everything within him. CAIN. Streams of air swirled around him. They picked up dust from the stone tiles and blew it into my eyes. We began to move farther away from him. The wind gained strength, ruffling our hair.
What's going on? Don't go near him.
What is he doing? Sonny boy, don't lose yourself here. It was unclear where that powerful gust was coming from until the outline of several new wings appeared behind him. His wings were already massive, and now he'd grown a second pair. A slight movement was enough for CAIN to create a whirlwind around himself. He tore the heavy cross out of the ground as if it weighed nothing and headed toward the very center of the hall. Oh my fucking god. I mean, everyone knew that I'm in love with this man, but You go, son! Stopping, he raised his head and watched as the infected flocked toward him. My man! Take the notes, ladies and gentlemen. This is how you make an entrance. His predatory grin and the lack of any compassion in his eyes made everything inside me shrink. Oh, I'm turned on. What you mean? What's going on with him? Swinging the cross, CAIN mowed down all the monks within arm's reach. He moved faster than usual, and it was hard to follow his silhouette. Clearing sufficient space, he flew up, accelerating his speed before launching the cross at the ceiling. The old value beams trembled from the impact. More stones rained down, leaving a small gap. A thin ray of sunlight made its way inside. I'm sorry, in my eyes it's a little creepy, or more like surprising, that his entire pupils are red. There is no more eye contour or anything. His eyes completely are filled with red beams. The cross plummeted back down and with a ringing echo pierced the floor. CAIN's movements became more bloodthirsty. Having lost his weapon, he rushed at the infected with bare hands. Splashing blood and enjoying the pain he caused, he destroyed everything standing in his way. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm living my best life. I feel so bad, y'all. I really do. But in my eyes, this is so attractive. Like, show everyone that you have powers. But you know what? It's funny. The general said that only CAIN is capable to do this. Why? What does he know? Soon there were almost no infected left, however CAIN's flare didn't fade.
He's getting carried away. This could end badly for us.
I need to try to bring him to his senses, find out how this can be done, rely on the general. Fuck no. Why the hell would I rely on the general? Try to bring him back to his senses. Sonny boy, right here. Without thinking, my legs stupidly carried me forward and I went along as if I had no other choice. For some reason, I felt I'd seen him like this once before, as if my body remembered the fear evoked from the other time he was like this. I also felt sure that I could reach him. I needed to get to him, get through to him, and bring him back to his senses. You know what I always find funny? A lot of people like to just use you as weapons, and when I am that into my role of destroying everything in my path, as in what you wanted me to do with your enemies, and then I direct that same energy towards you, you have a problem with that. Don't make me lose control in the first place, bitch. So cocky. Just as I caught up with him, I took a deep inhale, filling my lungs with air, and yelled his name. CAIN! What am I hoping for? He didn't hear me. He continued his destructive path away from me, leaving heaps of lifeless bodies behind him. I shouted again, louder, stronger, like never before. CAIN! He stopped. He slowly turned around and shot a blazing stare at me. His face was emotionless. He was completely consumed by bloodlust. But he's not a vampire. I'm sorry, y'all. I don't understand why they completely use bloodlust specifically. He's not a vampire. You could also just say that he's completely consumed by vengeance. You know? Like, why bloodlust? Because he wants to see blood? CAIN flapped his wings, knocking down the infected still approaching him, and then he took a few threatening steps toward me. Come over here, bitch. Come over here. He didn't see me. Just a second ago, I believed I could stop him. Now I wanted a hasty retreat, fully aware of an immortal creature's supreme strength. The angel stopped in front of me. I shrank under his shadow, feeling like an insignificant insect. Baby! He raised his hand, reaching for my head with an impassive look on his face. A second before the immortal reached his target, the general pulled me away. Oh, what is this bitch doing? Just leave me do my job, bitch!
Simone, I'm so sick of your harebrained antics.
And I'm sick of you touching me without my permission, bitch. Leave me be!
Why are you rushing to your death? I didn't think you were an idiot.
And I didn't think that you were an idiot. You do realize that he could just as easily destroy you too. CAIN, please kill him. I'm begging you. I can't stand the general no more. Who are you to touch me? Like, if we would be close, I would be like, okay, you know what? Fine. But this man actually always trying to make it seem that he has the control over us. He is the one that can tell us what we should do. No one else should be saying something. We are stupid. We don't have a right to do anything. Are you kidding me? Leave me be! I was breathing quickly, trying to digest what CAIN could have done to me.
They're the real immortals. Not the ones they pretend to be, but exactly who they are. Our lifetimes are nothing but a second to them. They aren't imbued with compassion for us. They don't make friends.
Shut up. I could have reached them. You pulled me away.
We are the cattle that they were supposed to herd, but they failed.
The general turned my head to see the rampaging CAIN and wouldn't let me turn away.
Remember this. Look and don't forget.
But it's because of bitches like you that he continues on his path. You were the one that wanted him to turn on the Riz. Now that he did, you have a problem with it.
They may appear like humans, but inside they're completely different.
Later, CAIN will find out that you wanted to help him. Oh, thank you. Balan and Ania began circling around CAIN. They started after him from a distance, hesitating at first as if they were afraid of him, because they know what he's capable of. What did this man do? The immortals picked up their pace and surrounded CAIN, encircling him, leaving no room for escape. Their behavior was reminiscent of bees protecting their hive. They pinned down invading hornets by circling and vibrating around them. The body heat of the hornets then rose to a critical temperature, killing them. A similar situation was unfolding with CAIN. He began to waver and lose his focus. His new wings fell off, and his eyes stopped glowing red. Paladin and he only stopped when CAIN fell to his knees. Oh, I hate that they're doing this to him, because you can see that he don't like it. And the fact that he's always on edge is because he knows that the general keeps on pulling this bullshit again and again and again. I don't want to lose control over myself, y'all. Imagine you have this huge ass power and you know that if you tap too long into it, it will take over you and you won't be capable to control it and you could kill someone you love. Fuck no. And then I'm sort of forced to do this because this is my only way out because you have something against me. Fucking hell.
Again.
Some of the infected began to rise again. We needed to get out of there fast.
General.
Apparently the general's gunfire helped to locate us as we saw Kira's silhouette flash through the opening in the ceiling. One end of a rope fell down. Right on time.
Ania, Paladin, get Nick outside. CAIN will deal with the remaining infected.
You see? Again! Doesn't he need to tap into his supernatural powers?
Anna, Simona, start climbing. Greg and I will cover you.
Anna and I ran to the rope where an unpleasant surprise awaited us.
It's too high up. We can't reach it.
Pushing off firmly from the ground, I jumped onto one of the crossbars. I climbed to the top and jumped onto the rope. I managed to grab the very edge of it. Straining, I pulled myself up and climbed higher. The thin rope slipped through my hands, the hard threads burning my palms. I tried again and was finally able to wrap my legs around the rope.
Great.
You quickly completed the task and Anna wasn't harmed. You're welcome. Give Anna my hand? Fuck no. Catch her from the cross. Climb up. I could care less about you, bitch. Bye-bye. Leaving Anna, I ascended.
Simona, I can do this alone. Simona.
What? Bye-bye. Greg, seeing that Anna couldn't reach the rope, rushed to the rescue and lifted her up. You didn't help Anna. No, I didn't. Y'all, I'm so fucking upset with everything that's going on right now. I could care less. I could care less. Back in the day when I didn't want you to reach into my subconsciousness and make me say things or reminisce on things that I would rather forget, you didn't care about my feelings. Now I'm supposed to care that you can climb a rope? Sorry, bitch. You learn. As I climbed, I glanced down. Greg started crawling up after us as Dimitri was shooting at the infected and moving oddly. Something is wrong.
Dimitri, that's enough.
Anna and I crawled up through the hole in the ceiling and looked down. CAIN was circling around the hall, finishing off the remaining infected, and Greg, gripping the rope, kept calling for Dimitri. Suspecting something was wrong, Anna bent over the edge of the hole.
Dimitri, what the hell are you doing? Climb up the fucking rope.
The general moved away from the rope and tiredly leaned on the cross.
He's wounded.
Greg, who had just climbed up, looked at Anna in confusion.
Oh shit, I was with him the whole time. Nobody touched him. Then why is he only using one hand? Something happened. He won't be able to climb up.
Dimitri raised his gun and stopped. It looked as if he glanced at the hole, trying to make out Anna's silhouette. A shiver ran down my spine. The image of Dimitri protecting me from the infected flashed before my eyes. The general put out his arm to prevent me from getting attacked. Is he infected? It's not just a wound. I think it's a bite. Kira, who had been sitting quietly so far, hastily began to open the case lying next to her.
No, Dimitri, don't do anything stupid.
Y'all, please don't hate on me in the comments, but I kind of feel bad. I hate this. I hate how much compassion I have. To a specific degree, in my eyes, he deserves what he's getting. But I hate when they make people die, like showing that they could be better people, you know? Because in my eyes, everyone can be saved, but if you're a bitch, then you're not worthy of being forgiven and everything, you know? But the fact that he's going out having protected us is something that is actually not making me enjoy anything that's going on right now. The general raised the gun to his temple.
Dimitri,
A shot was fired. The general's hand fell. Everyone froze, unable to believe what was happening. His fingers slowly unclenched and the weapon fell from his palm. I'm sorry, what? Y'all, He rolled over the stone slab and stopped at its base. Blood sprayed from the wound in his shoulder. In the shoulder? I turned my gaze to Kira. She was glued to the side, breathing heavily. It was as if she was afraid to move and see that she'd been too late.
Dimitri is alive. He didn't pull the trigger.
Okay. Alright. Y'all, I'm sorry. I feel relief. Again, he needs to go down, but not saving someone else, because that means that you show that you're selfless, and I fucking hate it. I always cling on people's positive personality traits, because I want people to survive. I want people to live. Oh, I hate it.
Kira shot him in the shoulder just in time.
Anna looked at Kira dumbfounded. Her eyes sparkled and her lips moved noisily. Wow, Anna. Kira smiled, barely noticeable with her trembling lips. She didn't utter a single word, but no words were needed. Yeah, she's thankful. I watched the others with interest, noticing the emotions in them for the first time. Pure, innocent, full of hope. Having heard the rifle shot, CAIN had turned around. He looked from us to the general. The ceiling began collapsing. Pyla and Nia hurriedly pulled us away from the hole. No, CAIN! As soon as we scrambled into a passage, a huge part of the floor fell away. CAIN flew out of the hole with Dimitri in his arms. He sank down next to us, handing the general over to his sister's care. Hearing a strange distant rumble, the squad looked at each other.
Is it just me? Are we all hearing that? Oh no, the last shot must have been too loud. Everyone, we have to get out of here now.
Oh gosh, are there infected coming our way? Oh no! The mountain that stood next to the monastery was shifting. A growing wave of snow-white smoke was rapidly rushing downhill.
You've gotta be kidding me. In a minute this avalanche will cover the monastery and half the city.
Oh god. Oh god. Human and immortal alike were exhausted from the battle. Gathering what strength was left, we rushed toward the estate. Our feet struggled in the snow. I tripped and fell. The avalanche was swallowing up the monastery. Run, bitch, run! I got up and started running. If you want to survive, there's simply no other choice. Run, bitch, run! As soon as we closed the estate doors and a powerful wave of snow hit the windows, the walls of the second floor trembled and we heard glass shattering, but after a moment everything went quiet.
The snowmobiles. We'll find them later. Let's take care of the wounded.
Dimitri, feverish and semi-delirious, was lying on the sofa. His wound was bandaged, but they still had to get the bullet out of him. Nick and Noah were placed on adjacent couches. They were both still unconscious and looked exhausted. I sat down wearily on the floor and pulled my legs toward me, lowering my forehead to my knees. This day needed to end, and quickly. Me. The next day. The following morning, we learned that most of the townspeople were able to save themselves. Many houses already damaged by the apocalypse weren't able to withstand the avalanche and collapse, taking with them the lives of townspeople who'd locked themselves inside. You failed to prevent Rotkov's demise. Greg and Lester dug out the snowmobiles and the squad prepared to leave. 3 squad members needed immediate medical attention. There was no time to lose. I can't, this is so funny. After washing up, I went to my room. At that moment, she was injecting a substance into Ania's hand. On Anna's bed, there was an open container with greenish capsules. Both women were sitting with their backs to me. It seemed that Anna hadn't noticed my entry. This is an opportunity. Right, ordeal. Suddenly, I picked up one of the capsules and put it in my pocket. I replaced the empty spot in the container with a used test tube. Walking sleepily to my bed, I collapsed onto the covers. 2 boxes lay nearby, one closed, with Anna's things inside, and one empty that still needed to be packed. It seemed like a good idea to help pack up the clothes. We We both wore them, after all. While putting things in the box, I didn't notice when Anna finished her procedure with Ania.
Hey, Simona, how did you know that Noah is left-handed?
When we were cooking together, he kept brushing against me with his elbows. It was hard to ignore. A knock sounded at the door. Kira entered the room. She was carrying a familiar case and a small bag. It's nothing compared to Anna's wealth of belongings.
Are you done?
Just these last 2 boxes are left. Can snowmobiles really support this kind of weight? Does everyone else have the same amount of stuff? How will we transport all of this at this point?
On trailers sleds. If they slow us down, we'll dump the cargo. Greg says we're waiting on you. Hurry up. Is Greg in charge instead of the general? We didn't agree to that. This question can be easily resolved, right?
Anna shook an empty test tube in front of Ania and reached for the medicine container. An emotion I'd never seen her expression suddenly flash across her face. She looked cold and emotionless. I was dumbfounded for a second. What do they have against them? I fucking hate it. Then Anna smiled as if nothing were the matter and closed the lid. Did I just imagine that? What do they have against them? Anna didn't seem to notice anything.
Oh, but this is temporary.
And Nia snorted and tucked up her wing.
By the way, Simona, you asked me to check the cemetery. I forgot to tell you, but all the Romanovs died on the same day, including Boris' grandfather.
I see. Just as I suspected, it couldn't have been an illness.
What are you talking about?
I think Boris' family was killed by the order. They found the missing book and punished the traitor who stole it. And as a precaution in the event of another theft, they tore out some pages to make decoding it impossible. That's why the Book of the Apocalypse is missing pages.
So we need to find those pages. And before finding the pages, we need to find the order.
I nodded. We find them and then the book will reveal all its secrets to us. We carried out our remaining belongings from the estate and loaded them onto the cargo sleds. While the others were checking everything was secure, I'd returned to the empty estate. I stood in the middle of the living room and examined every inch of it. It was my first home since waking up. There was no fire crackling in the fireplace, and there were no cozy blankets on the sofas. Rotkov taught me a great lesson. Humans are full of feelings, and this destroys them. For the residents, it was fear. For Abraham, love. For Boris, sympathy. How could I have been so oblivious to all this human imperfection before? Why did I worry? From the time I was born, I was endlessly unsure of something on a daily basis. I felt pain, bitterness, resentment, fear. Probably because I was afraid that the world had gone astray. I was afraid that my actions could lead to something terrible and ruin my life. But it never happened. The world was never right to begin with. And when there is nothing to lose and no expectations for the future, the heart becomes so light. It's a wonderful feeling of calm. Perhaps the gods feel the same way. Blissfully calm in their hearts. Nothing touches them, nothing happens, and nothing will happen. Time loses its power, and now there's only peace. And those who violate that peace must be eliminated. Something told me things wouldn't be the same as before. This day had changed us all. Oh yeah. I stood in the living room a moment more, and then I left the walls of the estate forever. I'm sorry, is he dead? Is Boris dead? Completely? We lost him forever? I don't like this, y'all. I really don't. I wanted him to survive. Ooh. Oh, the snowmobiles. Where are the immortals? Anna, us, Greg.
Not the moon breaking, y'all.
Not the moon. Oh God. What the hell? What? Y'all, they said we're gonna destroy the entire town, the entire city, and every single human being on it. I am weak. I actually can't. But yeah, this was the season finale. I'm shocked. I didn't want Boris to die. I wanted to find a way to save him. But he gone for good, and I don't wanna know how it continues without him. But on the other side, I'm intrigued to know what will happen, because apparently CAIN will find out that we tried to save him. So what will his reaction be? Will he think we're stupid? Because he is that straightforward? Or will he actually appreciate it and show that he's worried about us? I'm intrigued. But we will see what the new season will show us. I hope you enjoyed this video with me. Tell me in the comments below what you think was best, and I will see you in another video. Bye.